Nothing worse than playing blue-white hard control for 15-minute game and losing. Alright everybody, do I have an exciting deck for you today? This is Abzan Swine. This is based on the Orzhov Black, White, Elf, Mice and Pigs deck that I built before, but what we've done is splash some green in and give it a top end, because the problem with that deck was that we could lose to other mid-range decks if they had a slightly higher top end than us, and that is what I was trying to avoid here. And also to give us an out against control, which I'll just explain in a second. So I've scrapped the whole mice contingent. Whilst the Dollmaker into 3 blind mice is nice, what I would say is that a couple of other people have made decks that are similar to that now, and it's kind of more common on the ladder. So there's a lot more legions to ashes around. It's not the all singing, all dancing combo it once was. And also it takes a few turns to get going anyway. So if you've got enough interaction and removal and you can expect it, it doesn't necessarily win you games like you might expect it to. And that's where having a better top end, which in my mind at the moment, Breach the Multiverse is that top end, can do it for you. And let me just sort of explain what I've done with the deck. So I wanted to build a deck around Drover of the Swine, because this is the 5-costing Mythic 5/5 human warlock, which when it enters the battlefield, you choose one. You can either conjure one of the pigs onto the battlefield, or return up to 3 pigs with different names from your graveyard to the battlefield. So at first I thought this was complete trash, but given how effective that I found the first little pig to be against the One Ring, I think having a creature that we could potentially bring back from the graveyard with our top end that could keep bringing those pigs back onto the battlefield, new copies of them, seems strong. And what I'm sort of then aiming at this deck is sort of recursive threats. So I'm running a top end of 4 Breach the Multiverse, which for those who can't remember, each player mills 10, and we then put a creature or planeswalker from one from each battlefield onto the one from each graveyard onto the battlefield under our control, and 3 of Virtue of Persistence. I think it's an ideal card in the current meta because it gives you that -- and life gain against the little shitty mono red decks, but it also gives you the ability to bring creatures back from the graveyard, and that is why I wanted to play the Drover in addition to the Porcine Portent, because it gives us that creature body that we can bring back from the graveyard with both these abilities. The problem with the enchantment is that we don't have that because of these don't target that, but also enchantments are less likely to be destroyed. This isn't. So that's why we're running a couple of copies of that. We are running 4 copies of Invasion of Zendikar in order to get to this 7. I think it's important to not wait till turn 7 to be trying to do this type of play. It needs to be happening earlier. Therefore, if we're against other mid-range decks, our plan will be to play the Invasion and then play one of these out as early as possible in order to get that sort of big hitting swing in our favour. Breach the Multiverse. If we hit anything half decent off the opponent and we get a Drover or a Glissa or anything decent of our own, we're going to be in great shape. So if we find a Drover, for example, and a Sheoldred, or a Glissa and a Sheoldred from the opponent, or any of Planeswalker really, we'll be absolutely solid. To do this invasion, we are running 9 basics, because I don't ever really want to run out of basics, so just note that that is the case. However, this Abzan Colours has access to both Restless Cottage and Restless Fortress, so it's actually got a really strong mana base, as long as you've got the 4 Captivating Crossroads. I would say don't skimp on this card. It does make all of these 3-colour decks. If you're trying to run 3-colour decks in Alchemy, unfortunately, crafting 4 Captivating Crossroads is going to be something you will need to do. We're running the Porcine Portent again. As I said before, I think this card is brilliant. Why? The only reason this card is brilliant is because of the presence of the One Ring and Alchemy. In Standard, I don't actually think this would be anywhere near as good if you could somehow play it there. Also, the power level is a bit high. It's weird because Alchemy was subject to rotation and Standard wasn't. Some of the sort of powerful cards that exist in Standard have rotated out and lowered the power level of Alchemy a bit. Although there are more powerful Alchemy cards around, arguably, there's actually fewer of them. So the actual power levels are more similar than they've ever been. And that's why I feel like, you might look at this and evaluate it from a Standard perspective, but actually it's not necessarily like things have to be so much better to be good in Alchemy anymore, which is what it used to be. Anyway, I still think this card is great, and whilst the One Ring is around and being a pain, this will stay in my sort of decks, and I'm even running the First Little Pig 3 copies in my main deck. I think it's important if you're running Drover to have some extra pigs around in case you ever want to bring them back from the graveyard. Like if we're in a really long grindy game, I think trying to conjure other pigs out of it when you first play it and then bring it back with Breach or Virtue and then bring all of your pigs back if they've been destroying them could be an interesting play. But I think, yeah, it's nice to have this pig. Also, when you're playing the pig straight up and you're running the Porcine Portent, if you end up like with these pigs, you know, getting 2 or 3 pigs down and then you get one of these being 3/3s is actually a, you know, it's a win con, right? It can get us there. So I do think it's actually worth running this pig in the main deck in a deck like this where we've got a good top end. We also need some more creatures in the deck to be able to hit with our own breaches, so that is where the First Little Pig I think is particularly useful. And yeah, I just think it's good with the presences of the One Ring being our hard matchups, basically. The hard matchups are going to be one where the opponent's got loads of One Rings, and we want constant answers to those. Hence the First Little Pigs, 2 Legions to Ashes, and 4 Porcine Portents, bringing us more First Little Pigs. Always to deal with the ring. Even Dollmaker, it's worth noting that if you target the ring, it will obviously lose all of its counters. So if your opponent's got a ring up to 4 or 5 and they aren't low on life, you can just exile their ring and give it back to them with no counters on it. They'll only be drawing 1 a turn again, so it can actually even target the ring itself and slow them down. What else are we running in this deck? I'm running some interesting stuff. So we're running 2 Edicts, 2 Go for Throats, and 1 Cut Down. In addition to the 3 Virtue of Persistence, we've got quite a good little early game removal package here. So we've got 8 sort of 2-drop or less removal spells for creatures, or creatures and planeswalkers in Edict's case, and then we've got Legions to Ashes to follow up. So we've actually got 10 removal spells, but without even playing Portent. So we've actually got 14 ways of removing creatures directly, which is really strong, and that's the reason why I'm not running something like Sunfall. I don't think Sunfall goes very well in a Breach deck because you can't play it when you hit it with Breach, so we're kind of focusing on the lower cost removal for the deck. Rightly or wrongly, let's see how it works out. I am running 1 Darksteel Hydra, which I think is probably not right for the deck, to be honest. I might ditch this, but I wanted to try it because I've never really tried it. It's an Abzan Mythic. I've only got 1 copy of it, but it comes in as indestructible with X oil counters on it. Its power and toughness equal to twice the number of oil counters on it. In fact, I think we're going to have to remove this from the deck now, and I think what we want is, where is it? One of you. That'd be much better in the deck. It's got a similar late game effect, and we can bring it back with Breach. So let's not even talk about the Hydra, just because if you ever bring it back with Breach, it's 0/0 because it's got no oil counters on it. It does bring you an ingot and the thing that can give your other creatures indestructible. But to be honest, the only things we're losing to are exile effects anyway. So Sunfalls, Legions to Ashes, Porcine Portent, you know, basically a mirror. So I think Ashiok will be better, give us a bit of extra sort of board state in those situations. Now, we do have 1 copy of Wrenn and Realmbreaker in here. The reason for this really is to give us an extra hexproof creature around for the mono red and toxic matchups, because we can give one of our creatures plus make it a 3/3 vigilance hexproof haste creature, but also it pairs well with the Restless Fortress and the Restless Cottage. If we want to be able to power them up but we're worried our opponent's holding out removal, we can just plus on those lands and they still get their extra effects. So if we use the +1 of Wrenn on Restless Cottage, it will only be a 3/3 rather than a 4/4, but we'll still get to create a food token and exile a card from our opponent's graveyard, which can be an effect we're looking for. And if we don't want to risk the land, or we can't afford to power up the land, you know, we can get that nice effect on turn 3 or 4 if we want to with Wrenn. Also, it's an extra Planeswalker for us to bring back with Breach. You need to maintain, you know, a minimum level of permanence in this deck. One nice thing that we can do is bring back a Dollmaker. The Dollmaker can, you know, target a Drover if we've already got one out to summon another pig onto the battlefield. It can target your Portent to summon another pig onto the battlefield. So there's lots of little interesting paths through the deck, and obviously playing Breach, you need to know sort of how to play your opponent's cards a little bit as well. Know what things are good to bring back in what scenarios. So game plan for the deck is remove stuff early on. We can deploy a pig as a blocker early on. I would not be afraid to deploy this. Don't even care if you don't get to use its ability, because the beauty is we can always get it back later with Breach or Virtue. So, you know, whilst it seems weird, I've even played Dollmaker on turn 2. Just as a blocker in certain matchups. I think it's important against like mono red to have those bodies on the board, force them to use their removal on your creatures rather than being able to shoot you in the face with it, and give you time to get the Glissa in place or get the Portent to remove their more powerful things. So I've been having some really good success with this deck. I think it is sort of perfect for the meta at the moment. The sort of Zendikar into Breach top end really gives you something to hit them with. And this sort of cheap removal package down here and the ability to deal with one ring decks makes it pretty decent for best of 1. Let's have some games, see how we get on. Alright. Good, our opponent's got no rating. We play ladder, opponent plays play. Okay, quite a nondescript hand, but we'll go with it. White. Okay, nice little orator. We will try to get rid of it. Mission successful. Okay. Get another tap land down. Got another go for the throat. It's weird that they've got a soldier's card with this cleric. Okay, gonna need to get the Portent down to get rid of at least one of these. Oh, here's this. Beautiful. I wonder what removal they have in mono white. Hopefully it's creature based removal, because then we can just get this back. Or maybe it's no removal. Okay, 2 2/2s. Can't use go for the throat on these, unfortunately. Alright, let's get rid of that. Then let's get rid of one of these. And let's not attack. I'm looking forward to doing this and then copying it with Dollmaker. They didn't. Okay, they did enlist this. Okay. Obviously, we'll kill it. We'll do our best. No option to kill it. So let's chuck this on black and Drover. To get rid of the other command. Okay, they're gonna get. I thought they would get rid of the first little pig, to be honest. So that's a knight, this soldier. This is a bit of everything, this deck. I don't want to block this time. We'll take the 6 or 5. They must have a soldier in their hand. Yeah, they have. No, they can't kick it, so that's good. So, step 1. Get rid of that. Step 2 is we Dollmaker this. Get another first little pig, because these are artifacts. Step 3, no attack. Okay, worth trying to get rid of this first. You still, actually we don't have any need for the Dollmaker, let's get rid of that. More useful in the graveyard as well probably. Alright, I think we'll just put this in, shall we? I think we can survive a turn. Yeah, we can survive a turn. Okay. At least you've got a rating this time, Red Woodman 2. Fine. Go green. Not that we need to play this first because we're on the draw. Red and Foundry and nothing. I mean, nothing sort of suits us. That doesn't really suit me, to be honest. Fine. Gonna just start burning my face. No, you're gonna try and swift spear me first. Virtue of Courage. I wanted to see that do something, but so we've got something for 1 mana that's interesting. I think we'll get this in, because then we can Portent and get rid of the inscription next turn. So we need a green and a black, probably. We only need 1 white ever, don't we? Yeah, okay. Ouch. Ouch. You already used the land, right? Must have done to be on 5. You can just pass now, that would be nice. Okay, good. Yeah. Okay. That's one problem dealt with. That's a bit bad, but we do have an answer for it. What's the, it's another indestructible? No, it's not, it's a Praetor, of course, yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, then we can get lightning strike. It's just if this is a 1 red instant, we're in trouble. It is not, thankfully. Let's get rid of this while we can. Put this on white, and then we'll do this for 3. Could have done it for 4, but I mean, this is truly never going anywhere with a red deck, but we are very susceptible to just being burnt to death here. Okay, we have an answer for that. at least. And we threaten lethal now. By no means do I think we've won. With 3 cards in hand, 5 life is not a lot against mono red. I have only got 6 lands in 18 cards, so I think they must have more land. No way they're running, well, probably not running 20 when they're playing Erebrusk. I mean, is it count? It's taking them that long to work out if they can do 5 damage. It just makes me laugh at mono red players, man. No, the answer is you cannot do 5 damage. Sweet. God, flipping cold. Okay, this looks like a good matchup. What a main deck card. Green, white, halfling. Okay, probably legends. Looking like it. And they're on the play. Uh-oh. If we target Hajar with this, he can sack it, unfortunately. So let's just target one of the halflings. Try and deny them. Try and deny them a whatever the 5 colour guy's called. Can't remember now. A 5 colour guy. Too early on. Okay, they might not be playing the 5 colour guy. This looks like an aggro version. Put this on black. We'll exile that, shall we? Again, don't want to target Hajar because they can sack it and then we lose the other side. Okay, they've stalled a little bit, which is good. So we will, I think, take this opportunity to play this. Yeah. I mean, if I die, I'll feel a little bit silly, but I don't want to always be on the defensive. So we've got to try something. Interesting. Not a lot doing for opponent. We could power up Cottage. It leaves us with enough for Edict, so let's do that because we can try and flip the invasion, get ourselves a food for when we get in trouble. Not that I think there's any way of them flashing that back, but that's nice then. That's probably, I don't know what else they could have. What have they got in their hand that they've got all this mana? Another Hajar. Okay, yeah, that makes sense now. So do we just Virtue? We can take the Hajar. I think that's what we do. And then we just try and keep making foods, I think. We got to block because they've got a combat trick, right? If they've got 2 of them, does it kill us? No, don't know. Oh, it might. No, and he puts it on 4 damage to us. They could then keep it alive. Okay, but we got the food, so I think we'll get through this. A Glissa will definitely help as well. So let's go green. Let's play Glissa. Let's play a pig. And then we end. Sweet. Very good. You don't move up very much once you're in the top 500, do you? Okay. Gosh, more high rated play. Fine. Green, a forest. Very curious. Let's put this on green. Is it mono green? No way. No way. I got tons of basics, my friend, but nice try. They were hoping that... okay, they were searching up for their own swamp. I see. I see, I see. Get the old glycerin. Glycerin? Okay, maybe it's a similar deck. We'll just get rid of this now. Looks like they might not be running the white contingent. Probably running the ring. What if we've not got any double black or white, have we? We've got more white available, white things, so we'll play white. Okay, so they've definitely got a one ring around. Because why else would they be going for the throating on that? Let's see what they go for here. Okay, they are taking the Drover. So they've got the Portent. Maybe they haven't got a one ring, they've just got this, yeah. Maybe. Nissa, interesting. We've got ourselves a little pig army just to deal with this temporary, hopefully temporary problem. They've got 7, so they could play this Virtue now, but this still has its ability, so not a lot of point of them doing that. We'll double block with these ones. Just a straight trade. I guess we need to remember they can kill this. Okay, no, not anymore, they can't. So... we could just do it on this, but then we still got this to deal with, whereas... I wonder if they have any removal. No, they've got this. Okay, best to play it safe, I think, and just target the Nissa. Okay, pass. Have they got anything good in there? No, because we exile everything. We've got a Glissa in ours and a Drover. Okay. I think we'll just chump the 7/7 with Dollmaker. They're getting rid of the second little pig in the graveyard. Interesting. Not the Drover. Okay. We'll hold on to this one. I'd like a land. That isn't a land. Okay, I think we'll double block the 7/7 and we'll kill the cottage with Go for the Throat. I don't think we want anything being exiled. We don't want them building up foods. As long as this resolves, which I can't see why it wouldn't. Still a good double block, I think. They could have removal, blow us out a little bit, but we've still got the breach coming at some point. Just a demo field. Okay. We're definitely ahead. I think the white splash just makes this deck so good. Having access to Portent and Dollmaker. Yeah, fine. At least it's got loads of these. Doing anything? No. I wonder if this will finish the game off for us. Getting rid of the pig. Didn't want to do that in response. I'm taking Nissa, I suppose. Oh man, this deck is so good. It's so good. Okay. Marcos Estrella. Someone rated below us. Nice hand. Pretty cracking hand, actually. Bit of everything. You're not blue-white control, are you? Come on, please be soldiers. Oh no. Alright, let's get the counters going. Or reprieves, or whatever they play these days. Scatter Ray, yeah. We've got to get through them. Land. No. This would be a 0/0, right? Yeah. We're just gonna have to pass. It's really, that's actually really annoying. We don't want to let them draw, which is basically what we're doing. Fuck, man. Where's my land? Come on, land. We had all of these in our starting hand, didn't we? Opponents ahead, but they can still slip up, or their deck can let them down. So let's hope. Maybe they'll try and play a creature now. One ring now. Fuck! What is this? What is this? The only way we're going to lose is if we do get land screwed. Running 26, right? Yeah. They'll have a counter for this for sure. What? How has that resolved? Okay. We could be back in it. Yeah, this whole union ring thing, it's just a gimmick, right? It just keeps you alive forever. If we do that, we don't really have a follow-up. See, they have to counter this, so... Okay. They're letting us have the pig. Maybe they've just got loads of creature removal and no actual counters. We just wait for them to tap the ring, otherwise they'll tap it in response to us exiling it. And that just denies them one card. If we do it the other way around, they tap it first, they get... we try and exile first, they'll get 2 cards tapping it in response. So this way they only get 1, because they don't get to put the extra counter on it. I know that's probably obvious to most of you, but for those, just saying it out loud for anyone who that isn't obvious to. Okay. They can replay it. At least it costs them 4. And we can always get more first little pigs. That's the beauty of this deck. We do okay against rings. Okay, it's still a pain, right? This card's always a pain, but we'll get rid of them all eventually. Nice thing is we actually have Breach, and we've got tons of ways to get the Portent. We've got a battle to attack this time. How much mana are we at? 7. Okay, let's just attack the invasion. See if we can bait anything out of their hand. So this is nice, but it does die to Sunfall, which they must be playing. So I don't really want this to get Sunfall, but let's try playing it. Scatter Ray works well against Drover, but at least it goes into our graveyard and we can get it back with Breach. I doubt they're going to have almost anything for us to get with Breach. Maybe the lock, or whatever it's called, thingy.
Fight for every plane. Search past
We got one more Drover. Yeah, it's so ridiculous card, isn't it? Because they get to draw 3 basically for 4 mana. Well, for 6 mana, because they have to tap it twice. It's 6 mana, but draw 3. And get indestructible and protection from everything for a turn. And then we still have to find a way to remove it, which we built our deck around. But a lot of decks you can't build it around that. They're actually discarding. So they didn't cast the ring. No. Okay. What do we want to do? They're probably sat on Sunfall, right? So if we make a land a creature, it could just get exiled. So maybe we will do this to bait the Sunfall out. Or a counter. We're 3 scatter rays down. Can take them back down to 23. I suppose we can just plus on this thing, right? Becomes a 3/3, but it gives it hexproof. And it means we can plus our Wrenn without having to target our other lands, which we don't really want to target.
Stand with us.
I keep forgetting that this thing is actually a land. Man, what? How, if you had 3 unions and 3 scatter rays, literally the perfect cards against us, that's impressive work. Tap your ring, get your 3 cards. So what's their win con? Okay, we've got a Sunfall. We've only got 2 mana now. So now's the time to get rid of their ring. Or maybe it's the time to breach. They won't have anything though, will they? Would they have any planeswalkers? Maybe they've got Mill. Let's do Drover. You don't have another your 4th scatter ray, do you? You are still in the top half of your deck. No, just reprieve, okay. Oh, I should have made this.
Beckons to all worlds.
Sadly, we can't activate it this turn, so this might well bait out another Sunfall or some kind of board wipe. Because they're going to get to draw a ton. I'm just going to let them draw loads, because this double breach could just kill them, depending on if they've got a way to... Maybe they're running the Oracle of the Alpha to put stuff back into their library. Okay, going to kill Wrenn, I think you're missing the point. Well, you don't really care about Wrenn. That's not how we win anymore. I wonder what this 2 is for countering. Okay, let's do what we suggested last time.
Please, buy us more time.
So it does 5 damage. If they don't, I mean, they could power this up. At least, yeah. That would tap them out though. Okay, so they're not willing to tap out to kill a land. They must want to counter this, do you think? Conundrum of Balls. This card just seems so bad, doesn't it? Wait, have we got balls in here? No. Okay, sadly we're 1 land off because we got one of our lands Sunfalled. We might get another one Sunfalled. They've only gone through 2 Sunfalls. They didn't power this up, so they're going to be Sunfalling. Come on, dude. Okay, these breaches are looking very good now. I think we're keeping just enough. You still want to be drawing? I don't think you care that much about life at this point. I wonder if we're keeping enough pressure on that even if they do have Oracles of the Alpha, they can't play them. Although, I really don't know what their win con is. They're going to have to get rid of this ring eventually, right? They can't draw that many cards. And it's going to start doing some proper hefty damage soon. I really don't know what their game plan is. What's the win con opponent? What is the win con? They actually threw away a ring. And they're throwing away the scrutiny, so they know they've got too much, obviously. I could play this. Sunfall doesn't deal with that. They want us to exile the ring now, so I say we don't oblige. Breach is obviously potentially a 2-turn win, but I just wonder if they have a counter. If they're running anything that counters it, they have it. They'll have reprieve, right? Yeah. Okay, they'll definitely have a reprieve. So let's do this. Let's minus Wrenn. Take the land and we'll just attack, shall we? Yeah. We're swinging for 8. They're going to take 5 next turn. I mean, that's a 2-turn clock in itself. And we can exile their token if they power it up. Okay, so they're thinking about targeting our creatures at least. That's what we want. Aha! So here is the win con. Yeah, I think we'll put it on top. That can go on the bottom. So we can afford to play, go for throw and pay. So they can't even put in a whale now. So they're taking 5. Okay, no they're not. They're getting rid of their own ring via Soul Partition. Good, we're actually getting their hand down. They can't refuel this bit. So down to 4 cards. Plus some whales, which they're hoping is going to do it for them. So let's get at least one counter out, or a reprieve, or something. At least let me pay the 2 before you reprieve it. So 1, how many reprieves have gone? 2, just 2? Yeah, just 2. Okay, let's just try and kill this. We're going to have to play a bit careful, so... They can't flash in the other one in our turn. They've only got 4. They could create a Mirex token, but we're less worried about that. Basically, we're just searching for their reprieves by doing this. We don't actually care about this lock wheel, it's only got a 4-turn clock on us. Okay.
Allies everywhere. Stand with us.
That's it, isn't it? That's it for us this turn. This is just each player, yeah, so it's not target. So they're going to probably play their 1 ring because they probably think they need to make themselves safe. Okay, you're taking more cards out your deck. I wonder if that was a reprieve, because I'm pretty sure they don't have one based on... Oh, they have got something plus to find in Breach as well.
I'm finished running from battles I might not win.
Interesting. Another win
Nobody
con.
knows the past better than me.
So if they don't ring... How many have we got? We've got enough land that we can mess about. Let's just try and get anything out of them if we can. Let's attack the Teferi.
Buy us more time.
They didn't put the whale in, so that can't block. Gain us a little bit more life in case we mess up and something happens. We need more turns. I mean, what sucks is playing against blue-white decks, because you have to spend forever, but what sucks even more is playing a blue-white deck if you lose. Okay. Still no creatures in there. Let's try it then. Let's see this reprieve. Since I don't think you're on encounters. And if they reprieve, they can't put their whale in, so... Nothing worse than playing blue-white hard control for 15-minute game and losing. Okay, that was actually a 19-minute game, that last one. Gosh, another player higher rated than us. Okay. Alright, we'll give it a go. We've played against all sorts of this deck, and we're coming through. What we haven't played against much is mono-red, so... This player, I think, has been playing Gruul decks? Or maybe... I thought it was Gruul decks, but... which it could still be with a forest. Okay, it's toxic, I suppose. To be running this silly proliferate land. Which could be an issue for us if we don't get a move on. They're going to play the 1-drop and they've got a blue land to protect it. Okay, nope. An Ivy, which we will very much get rid of right now. Okay. Let's get Wrenn in. Because we could tick this up. Keep a little board presence, which they love to get rid of your bouncer staff. Or, yeah, to get through with toxic. Put important. I don't think we're playing against particularly worrying artifacts or enchantments here, so we can run this and it will help us against any flying toxic. Because there are a couple of, I mean, obviously Ivy was there, but she's not toxic, but there are other things that go in this deck. Like the Gnat, I think it's called. Still nothing, okay. So we need black, but suppose for now we just keep.
We must fight back.
We just keep going. Got a 2-turn clock now, so they've got to do something. They'll probably bounce the pig, maybe? Yeah, okay. That's what, at least the land is nice, it can't be bounced. Okay, we'll replay. It's still got its flying because it's perpetual. It means we can't edict, but I can't imagine us dying to 10 poison next turn at haste speed. No. Okay. Sweet. Okay. Below us again. I feel like this deck is like the ultimate patience test, right? As long as you're patient, like it can come through for you in most situations. But you do need to be patient. I'm glad I'm on the play because you know this feels mono red to me. Yeah. You just know, I don't know what it is. You're called Combustible Lemon, you're about this point on the ladder, and you're running some weird sleeves. It just feels like mono red. Don't do that. That's not how you play a mono red against open black mana. You don't try and put the roll token on, do you? I think this is weird. But we just play this now because we've got nothing to copy with it. We're not going to have tons of like spare time to play stuff later against red. And yeah, if we can block stuff, all the merrier. That is a nice card against mono red that they have to deal with. Do we do this for now though? I think we do because we've got the fortress that can have hexproof. Gain us some life. Look, we're aggroing mono red now. I don't think I'd even block a squeeze, to be honest. If they had any open mana at all. Because we're still on 20 life, and we can gain 2 every turn with this little racket. Okay, they're going to tap out for us. Kill the Wrenn. Okay, we can't do our racket. The racket's gone.
So many screams.
Okay, what's best here? Ramp, probably. Block squee. And then play these 2 next turn. Probably. It also makes us less likely to draw lands, which... Have we only got 1 green? I think so. Yeah. No, 2 greens. Okay. Which is good. I don't want to draw any more land against mono red at this point. This could be a painful turn. Okay, no way to flip this, which is good for us. So, I definitely want to play this because it's really nice. I think we exile Squee though, right? The Godric, they're going to struggle to give it flying for more than 1 turn now, and the Squee is the big enabler for that anyway. And they will end up with enough cards in their graveyard to bring Squee back, so okay, fine. Could I please get some more cards? Ah, shit. That's really bad. That's really, really bad. 6, 7. Why are they keeping 1 red? For a shock? This will be our loss to mono red. We got too many lands. This can create us a food, only if it attacks. We'll flip this. I think we are dead. So we attack. Yeah, whatever. I think we're dead. We can play this and then we can still do the food. But unless they've got 2 lands in their hand, we're in significant trouble. Yeah. GG opponent. Even they played it wrong and they still win it. So it sucks to be us, man. We're still taking, yeah, tons. Gah. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when mono red comes for you? Okay, quick look at the stats that we had with this deck in the video. Played 7 matches, won 6, lost 1. So you saw the one we lost was mono red. It was a bit frustrating. We didn't, you know, it wasn't like we got particularly unlucky. We just didn't quite get the level of removal that we needed for that deck. You really need to find your virtues. That extra 2 life that you get for removing something is very important in those matchups. And the opponent having sort of lots of recurring threats with the multiple squeeze and things was just the right cards against us. So that can happen. And well played to our opponent. You can see that we went from 503 to 429 over those 7 games, which is a pretty good climb, to be honest, in Mythic. Being able to win 6, lose 1. And against them, you know, these players were like in the, you know, higher rated than us, much higher rated than us, most of them. So, you know, although it's a bit frustrating because we did drop those 32 places or what, 31 places at the end. Well, you know, we still climbed a good amount, and this deck is definitely one that can climb us into the top echelons of Mythic if we want to put in the time. I honestly think this deck is absolutely banging. As I said, I've removed the Hydra now. We'll make some more little tweaks to the numbers and amounts of each of these as we learn from the games that we're losing, and then potentially make a best of 3 deck out of it as well. But yeah, if you want to win some games, go and play this deck. That's all I have to say. Thanks very much for watching. Those that have made it to this point, I'll see you soon. Bye for now.